Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
What was that?
They're in Estero, Florida the week after the pay-per-view, but then they're in San Antonio and Cedar Park, Texas, outside of Austin the 2 weeks after. So middle of March.
Way too long to wait for it.
Yeah. I mean, you could do the pay-per-view. I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
What's another month?
Yeah, that's literally a month from this weekend. Or you have them start now.
I was going to say, either way, yeah, because, I mean...
You'll know soon enough. If he's got him signed, he's not going to... Either they're waiting for that or you'll see him right away.
Right.
You're not going to see him like a week before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be this week or
you'll wait till that night. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. You don't show him up 2 weeks before, then you can't really set up anything for him.
You're literally a month away from the pay-per-view, a month
Exactly.
from tomorrow.
Yep.
So
What do you I'm trying to think, how do you debut them? Is there anything
just bring them out.
is there anything anything big happening? Well, they're doing the Texas Death
They're
Match
doing the
next week,
Texas
right?
Death Match on. That's the main. I don't think they didn't announce anything else for Dynamite. I don't believe for this coming week. I mean, they'll probably do it tonight during Rampage, but I don't believe they did because the Punk MJF match happened so early. Usually around like 9:40, they hype next week's program, but they didn't.
Right.
They hype Rampage.
I think they've had a couple things announced. I noticed that they've been announcing like stuff weeks in advance.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they've announced. What was it? Was it 2 weeks ago? They announced something for like Rampage like this week, like 2 weeks ago.
It was
like, wow,
Thunder
that's
Rosa
kinda...
versus Mercedes Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah.
They announced that a couple weeks before. That's another one where reading the spoilers, I'm curious what happens at the end of it. Because they have it announced as a DQ finish, which they don't do DQs very often.
No, not
And
often.
in the spoilers, it says that, and I go, is this a misprint? And then 3 other places had it. So something, I don't know. They never do them. That's something weird. It's got to be a reason for it because they just don't do it because they don't want to put somebody over.
It was like what? It was Thunder Rosa wins by DQ.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But that's all it says. There wasn't any like other information about like, oh, this person showed up or that's why or this why. It just said she won by DQ.
Right.
They just had basically, Cole won his match. They gave the results. Isaiah Kennedy lost to Sammy in a supposedly a really good match. Then she won by DQ. It's like, oh, okay. But they tried something different this week in Chicago. They actually had Rampage taped before Dynamite went on the air.
Oh, really?
Yep. They let the people in at 6:00, and they did like 5 matches for Elevation, and then went right into Rampage at 7.
That's cool.
So they taped that all, and then they did Dynamite, and I guess the crowd was super. You heard the match; they were into it. So it wasn't like an hour later and they're doing Rampage. I think they probably should go to that routine from now on. Do Rampage beforehand.
Yep.
It just makes so much sense. People aren't going to leave if Dynamite's coming up.
Right.
Right.
And as Tom saw firsthand, after Eddie and Danielson had their match, the place basically emptied.
It was a long night too,
Yep.
with no food.
The new thing they should do is they should just tape Elevation when they tape Dark down on Orlando. Just do it for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And just do Rampage before and then Dynamite. And even if you want to give them a dark match before the show and after, go for it. They don't do those. Let it. Give
Do
them
a
one more
dark
match.
Do a
That's
dark
it.
match after. People stay for it,
Yeah.
great. If they don't, they don't.
Give you 10 minutes and you're out. People
But
will
that-
stay 10 minutes, but another hour and a half or an hour and 15 because they got to set up the ring. That just kills all the momentum
Yeah.
and everything.
Destroyed it, and it
Mhm.
was, and I mean, this isn't AEW's fault, but the arena was terrible as far as their food vendor goes. So
That was brutal.
you're there for 5 hours and you haven't eaten anything but a bag of
Yeah,
chips.
right. Thanks to Omar.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Now that's the person we should be thanking on this podcast.
Yes, thank you, Omar. Not
Would you
Jason
like
for
to
the
thank
belts.
anybody else though while you have the time? Yeah, you have time.
Look.
Oh, look, there it is. There's the title belt. Who got you that one?
I don't recall. Do you remember, Tom?
No,
I don't know who gave
drawing a
it.
blank. I have
I
dementia.
Since we're still on Dynamite,
Yeah.
Randy Rhodes.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh,
That was
she's
awful.
awful.
Oh, that was the only down part of Dynamite.
Thank God Lambert comes out and just destroyed her verbally.
Yeah, and he's not the most exciting guy, and you really don't want to see him. But when he came out, that was a pop.
I don't mind him that much because I kind of enjoy his. I think
he's
I'm a
doing it
heel from the
purposely.
80s.
Yeah, he's obviously saying he's the cancel culture guy, and he wants to be.
Yeah. But he's
Mhm.
doing that campy over the top heel
Yeah,
gimmick
yeah.
from the 80s.
Right,
and
right.
there's something about it with
He's
this
Jim
guy that I
Cornette.
like. Yeah.
He's Jim Cornette by
He
proxy.
100% is.
Mhm. Sure, definitely.
Or Dutch
you-
Mantel, we the
you-
people.
You can't get Jim Cornette on your show because, although to be fair, lately
He
Cornette's
probably
been,
would go on the show
Cornette's-
now.
Cornette's been praising him like a lot lately.
100%. He's been all over them. He
It's-
loves them.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that was weird how much he likes them right now.
Yeah.
He's barely ripping on it. Just the normal stuff we've been saying the problems are,
Right.
but most overall the product, he's like, it's actually really good at the moment.
I would like to hear what he had to say about the Danhausen debut.
I think he did say something about it.
Didn't he say
I'm
it was?
sure he did.
I think he said he likes Danhausen. He thinks it's a funny character.
Really,
I enjoy
I
it.
thought so.
That
I thought I read
surprises me.
something about him saying that he was actually entertaining to him.
I still don't get him.
I know he
I
took
don't-
3 hours on Friday to go over how much he loves Punk and MJF.
I bet.
It was
I
like
bet he
basically the whole 3 hour show was all about that.
That's hilarious.
But I think he said he liked Danhausen. He was curious what he's going to evolve into here in AEW. Independent Danhausen was kind of the same spiel wherever he went. But he
Right.
goes, you can't do the same thing every week. It's going to wear off. I'm curious how they do this.
Right.
Because he wasn't a huge fan of Orange Cassidy. Still not a huge fan, but he goes, at least,
He hates Orange Cassidy.
but he's saying at least he's evolving, that he's not like he was when he first started here.
That's wild that even Jim Cornette's kind of softening on
A
Orange
little bit.
Cassidy.
He's not always
It's
ripping
funny.
on him as much. He's kind of like,
Right.
I can see his characters evolving, and you're like, oh, okay.
So who's softening more? Jim Cornette on Orange Cassidy, Rick on MJF.
Cornette.
Definitely Cornette on Orange Cassidy.
Cornette, yeah.
Definitely.
It's like someone's giving him a few dollars to say good stuff.
Or wait, or
Or
Tom when he sees Nia Jax.
No, yes, I see what you did there. She is a real.
I was going to say, Tom is always soft when it comes to Nia Jax.
not standing for attention.
No, I really thought it'd be like, like Cornette would just be like, oh, because Cornette always calls Orange Cassidy the mascot, the AEW
Yeah.
mascot,
Mhm.
and I could just hear Cornette's voice like, oh my god, not a mascot, pretty much,
Yeah,
because that's
right.
that's, which I guess is cool, that's the one thing, it's
I mean, it wasn't super praised, but he wasn't like just ripping on him, which is different for
Right.
him. Where he talked about Marco Stunt's 45 minutes of how much Marco blows.
Marcos,
Yeah.
but he'll be gone soon.
Yep. They're not bringing him back. They're just letting his contract lapse like they're doing with Cage. They're just letting it lapse.
That list I spoke of, it's getting smaller and smaller as we speak. All those guys. Marco Stunt, Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss apparently started like an OnlyFans.
Oh,
That's pretty
no.
hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know the first contract that fully ran out was Peter Avalon's.
Yeah, and he's
But
pretty much gone, right?
He's still sticking around and doing dark stuff because they have his little group there.
The wingman.
And they basically only work dark now.
Right.
All those guys. And
yeah,
I don't think anyone else is contracted, but he's going to just do that every time they're down there tomorrow for dark taping. So you'll see, I'm sure he's on it, but it's just going to be stuff like that. Or when they actually make their West Coast debut, coming up in March or May or June, whenever they're heading out there. I can't remember
Even when I see it.
I can't remember. I think it's after they do Double or Nothing is when they're going to hit it.
Because that's in Vegas, right?
It's in Vegas in May. And I believe after that, they're going to California and they're hitting like 3 or 4 stops in the next like 2 months down there. They're going to stay out west, I guess, almost all summer. That's what their rumor is. I guess everything's booked out to All Out right now. They've all their shows booked out till then.
That's cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of West Coast stuff and, like maybe even some Midwest stuff up there, Wisconsin's or whatever again. But like on that from like, Central over to the West Coast, it seems like they're almost going to focus on there for that period of time.
So they've been meaning to get out there for a while too, though.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to make sure everything was good to go because California kept changing what, things you couldn't do there. Like you can have fans, you can't have fans. Now they went back to you couldn't have fans again, and now you can have fans again. So it's like, it seems like it almost changes weekly.
Sonny Kiss can have OnlyFans.
I know UCLA didn't they do some college basketball games and they were empty arenas still?
Right.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Super Bowl's having 75,000. So it's like, I don't know if it's by county or what. Russ might have a better idea.
It's because probably NFL has a lot of money.
Sure.
Next week it's gonna test everything. There's a bunch of events going down, and obviously the Super Bowl and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be quite the event.
I think that's the biggest reason why AEW hasn't made it out there is they're hesitant to book stuff and then say, all right, you can't have any fans there. And they've already spent all this money on stuff that they don't want to have to postpone it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But they're saying like, May, June, they definitely have some stuff booked out there. I know they booked Ontario, California for one of the shows because the Bucks are basically.
That's a good spot.
Because the Bucks, that's basically like their hometown almost. And then I know somewhere around LA, I'm not sure where they're going, but somewhere in LA, I've heard the Forum, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Van Nuys.
I don't know if Van Nuys really has any kind of arenas.
I just wanted to say Van Nuys.
I've been there, but I don't know if they do. But I'm sure they'll hit somewhere in like Oakland, San Francisco area.
Calabasas.
Maybe San Diego area they'll run, but I'm sure they'll run LA a couple of shows.
The Forum would be good. USC and UCLA have.
I know they love to run college areas, but I think Paulie said no to them. I don't know about USC's building.
USC would probably be.
I know Paulie Pavilion said no. UCLA doesn't want them there. As I guess WCW did a show there, and some guys wrecked the locker rooms way back in the days. So they said you can't run there ever. They don't want any wrestling shows there. Period.
But it's been so long that they could probably, depending on how much it costs to rent out, they could get Staples, Crypto.com.
I think WWE is a exclusive contract on it, so they can't.
Oh. Then USC would be good.
Yeah, I know that they can't go to Staples, or they would. I know that
Ontario.
Sorry, whatever it's called, Crypto.com now.
Yeah,
they could do USC. I've heard the Forum. I don't know.
They should run the bill.
Tony Khan keeps talking about the Forum because I think that's where WCW ran a bunch of shows, and he seems to like to use the older venues. I know
Cow Palace.
They redid it.
Is the
That's
Cow
in San
Palace
Francisco?
Still?
Yeah, that's
love the Cow Palace.
That's where New Japan ran there. Probably, I could see that.
What was that other building that New Japan ran?
They ran the Long Beach pyramid? The Long Beach Convention Hall or whatever it's called. It's like a big pyramid.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be.
It's
cool
in Long Beach though. But I think they were all wherever they ran those, there was just the seats were just the flat seats. They didn't go up. It wasn't like an arena look to it.
Right.
And they don't like that for AEW. They want to look like, it's a professional arena at least, even if it's small. They'd rather at least look like an arena that goes up like that.
I still want to see AEW at Lowell Auditorium.
Yes.
Or Braintree Armory, they'll never run there.
No, yeah. Braintree
Congress
Armory.
Arena.
Braintree Armory for Rampage. You walk into that place.
Congress Arena would be good for an AEW show.
Yeah.
I feel like
If they did Lowell, I bet they would go there instead of the Odd. But the Odd would be cool though.
I think that's what they should do. They should do Dynamite at Songus and then Rampage at Lowell Auditorium.
Well, what they probably would do is if they did it live, is it'd be in Agganis Arena for Dynamite, and then they'd go to Lowell for Rampage.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because they did the double shows in Washington a couple weeks ago, and the ratings were through the roof for that one. That was like their highest rated show since like the beginning of Rampages.
That was like the first one that was live, right? Not
the
first one,
in
but
months.
yeah.
Months, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then doing it right before the pay-per-view, that one's live too. So I'm curious to see how that one does. I don't see why TNT wouldn't be like, all right, when you're live, the ratings are like twice as high. Why not do more live ones?
Right.
See how it works out.
What about
Only a few months away.
What about the old report that I sent out to you guys prior to the podcast that Big E's push is basically done?
Not surprised by how he didn't do anything in the Rumble and how they kind of just had him floundering around since he lost the belt.
They had him floundering around when he had the belt.
True.
We've said it. They booked him terribly.
Mm-hmm. Now they're putting him back in a tag team again with Kofi, I guess. Is there no newest plan?
Yeah, they're on right now.
Oh, they're on now? Okay.
Where's Woods? What happened to him?
He injured his leg, but I guess he just got cleared. So he should be back on TV shortly. If he's not already. I don't know if he's SmackDown too, right?
The weak link of the New Day.
Now, if you didn't see him tonight, then they're waiting for him for something else, I guess.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of the G4 stuff too, though, right?
Well,
Like
he's the
too.
host, and they do it live every week.
So, yeah.
I wish G4 was actually on TV.
Yeah. That's true.
It's not.
It's on Spectrum or Time Warner Cable and like nothing else.
Yeah, it's like, and they stream it on Twitch live, I guess.
Jason's on the Spectrum.
Wow.
The dementia spectrum?
The autism spectrum.
No. I wasn't going to say it. Oh,
He's
boy.
on a thank you spectrum. You should thank him.
But we did. He just, his dementia.
Acknowledge
we
him.
couldn't hear it.
He doesn't remember
So what else? What were the other stories? I can't remember. There was something else I
I
wanted.
feel like we're missing something.
I know the Hoovy Wrestler of the Week can't happen yet because I don't have the video. I know who's winning the award, though. I'm positive it's going to be Matt Cardona again.
It's always Matt Cardona.
Well, there's a reason this week. Do you know why? He's the new Impact Digital Media Champion.
Which is the worst name for a belt ever.
He beat Jordan Grace for it last night, so he's winning the award this week.
If there was ever a championship to not win,
I love it. I mean, it makes sense considering he's
Mr. Internet.
He's the internet champion.
Yeah.
But why don't you just call it the internet champion?
Probably because who knows? Maybe he had that copywritten. Who knows?
You know what?
I wouldn't be shocked.
I think he does. I think that's exactly why.
I bet he does.
I'm almost like 90% sure now that I think about it that he actually has that.
Well, you had a picture this morning where he had both of the titles. He goes, "I'm the digital media and internet champion."
it would be better if he was like the crypto champ or the Bitcoin champ. That would be so much better than digital. It's so stupid.
That's his rant.
I want a TV title, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, no one wants to give a TV title out anymore.
Meanwhile, the Rock is cutting a promo for the Olympics right now.
To the millions.
It's magical.
Is he at the Olympics?
No, he just.
No.
I think he filmed. He just filmed.
Oh, he
it.
just filmed something for him.
It's like a little backstage vignette.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
I'm trying to think. All those other people. I mean, we guess we really talked about it with like the Keith Lee thing, but
Yeah.
all those people that got released 90 days ago, they're all able to.
And then the last two are Regal and Samoa Joe are up. I think Regal's today. Today he's now available, and then Joe's on Sunday. But everyone else is through now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Keith Lee, Killer Cross, Mia Yim, Ember Moon, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Oni Lorcan, Grand Metal League, Lindsay Dorado, Eva Marie and Nia Jax.
I know Oni's going back to Biff, and he's on the Beyond show tonight.
Biff Tannen?
Yeah.
Biff Busick.
Oh,
He's on the Beyond
doing,
show tonight.
You know who else is on the Beyond show?
No.
Matt Cardona.
The new digital media champion.
Yep.
He's everywhere.
the Hoovy Wrestler of the Week, 5 weeks running.
And I know Amber Moon's doing Thunder Rosa's promotion next in like 2 weeks as Athena again. So she's back taking bookings.
Biff's working a chaotic show literally a mile from my house.
Biff is building a giant casino in the middle of the town with all of his winnings.
Are you going to go see Biff?
No, because it's a Friday. So
you heard about Anthony
Green?
Green? What happened to him? All the flights to Orlando got canceled today, and he's supposed to be at dark tomorrow. So he's driving down there in his grandma's car or whatever. He put it on Twitter. He goes, 18 hours and 58 minutes, and I'll be in Orlando. Don't worry, Tony. I'll be on time.
As Bob Evans would say, do the drives.
He's definitely doing the drive this time.
Do the drives.
He couldn't get a flight out because they canceled so many flights today because of the ice.
That sucks.
He couldn't get out. I think they said until afternoon tomorrow, and the first show starts at 1. So it's like, all right.
He should document the whole. He should go on like Instagram Live and just like.
He might. He's a lunatic. He might do that. Here's another one where he's not under contract, but he's doing all their dark shows.
Yeah.
Here comes the Samoans.
Which Samoans? Sika?
Oh no, are you still watching the Olympics?
I got the open ceremonies. I always love that Samoans.
That Samoan dude. No, that Samoan dude. He's like all greased up for some reason.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't he be?
He's like super oiled up, and it's like he's not wearing a shirt. He's wearing like traditional Samoan garb.
You know he's related to the Inouye family. They all are. Except for Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
He's half. The Street Fighter of the Islands, is he there?
Maybe that's it. That's why he's all creased up.
He fought the zombie Asian man on NXT Tuesday.
NXT stars were before the SmackDown taping again.
Which ones?
I'm looking it up. Let's see. Raquel beat Io, and then Ciampa beat Dunn.
They're just having them work each other. That's stupid.
Yep.
I feel like Io's days are pretty much number 2.
It seems so.
It sucks. That's sad because
this guy is soaked. What the hell?
The Samoan dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got claws on his arms.
He just rubbed Vaseline all over himself. Was like, all right, I'm ready to. Son.
What the fuck? He's wearing chili peppers around his neck.
Hey, Roman Reigns did the other night.
He did.
Yeah, for the return of their new album.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. See what you did there.
Synergy.
I gotta stop watching this. I keep commenting on it. You guys are talking about like real things. I'm talking about this guy who literally has a sheen on him.
It's very shiny and slippery.
Charlie Sheen, Martin Sheen, Emilio Sheen.
He's glossy.
Come on.
Bye.